Continuing on with the mid-year changes that the Georgia Association of Realtors made to their contract package, available to agents July 1st, 2024. Today's topic is I'm going to cover the changes that the Georgia Association of Realtors made to the instructions to closing attorney. Hi, everybody. Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors and the director of the Real Estate Academy of America. Please watch the other videos in this series on the changes that GAR, Georgia Association of Realtors, has made to the contract package coming out. This is being recorded. Today is June 19th, 2024, so mid-June. These changes will be available to agents July 1st, 2024. So I have done a lot of other videos on the topics. Please check out the links below. Check out videos, check out playlists. Please, I'd appreciate if you would subscribe so that you don't miss any of these videos. And I do video tips on all sorts of contract issues, license law issues. So please browse the channel and I appreciate your time. Oh, additionally, we do teach free continuing education classes on a myriad of topics, but we are covering these mid-year changes in our contracts classes and brokerage agreement classes. So check those out. I will link that as well. Let's dive into today's topic, which are the instructions to closing attorney. So I am going to share my screen, and here they are. We are just going to cover them. Instructions to closing attorney, and this is what agents send to a closing attorney here in Georgia once they go under contract, so that the closing attorney knows what to put on the closing settlement statement for compensation to the brokers. So again, this is regarding a purchase and sale agreement between the buyer and the seller, with the date of the purchase and sale agreement and the address of the property. And then it goes on to say, as I've addressed in all these videos, no longer does it say commission, it now says compensation. So this is the compensation paid by the seller to the seller's broker. And this is expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or some other financial arrangement. Then it goes on to say the compensation shared by the seller's broker with the buyer's broker. Such compensation is a portion of the compensation paid by the seller to the seller's broker above. The compensation paid by the seller's broker to the buyer's broker is an amount expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or an other arrangement. So this is how much the public seller pays to their own broker. Paragraph number 2, how much the listing broker is sharing with the buyer's broker out of what they are receiving in total from the seller. Paragraph 3, compensation paid directly by the seller to the buyer's broker. The compensation to be paid by the seller to the buyer's broker is an amount expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or other arrangement. And then paragraph 4 is the compensation paid by the buyer to the buyer's broker, again, as expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or some other arrangement. So the first part is how much the seller's broker is being paid from the seller. The other 3 paragraphs have to do with how the buyer's broker is being compensated. What portion of their amount is coming from the co-op agent or from the co-op broker, the seller's broker? How much, if any, is coming from the seller? And how much, if any, is coming directly from the buyer? All of these arrangements are agreed to, negotiated, not set by law, but negotiated and agreed to between the parties on other documents that I've already addressed in other videos. So watch those other videos. This has to do with the brokerage agreements, the customer descriptions, and the agreement for compensation to be used prior to showing, special stipulation, and the new exhibit regarding broker compensation. So this has already been negotiated. This document is not for the negotiation of these fees. This is an accounting of what has already been negotiated, who is paying, how much the seller's paying their broker, and how the buyer's broker is being paid, how much and by what parties. This is just a listing, an itemization of all of that to give to the closing attorney so that the closing attorney can document this on the closing settlement statement. Then it goes on to say general provisions applicable to this agreement. Neither broker shall have a claim for compensation against the other broker in the event the closing doesn't occur. The closing attorney is directed to show the above referenced compensation on the settlement statement and to collect this same, meaning the same amounts, as a precondition to the parties closing on the purchase and sale of real property, so long as the same is permitted by the buyer's mortgage lender, if any. The same verbiage is in those other documents as well. 5C, for purposes herein, the term broker shall also include the affiliated licensee or the agent. And if a licensee signs this instructions to closing attorney form on behalf of the broker, such licensee warrants that they have the authority to sign on behalf of and bind the broker. And that authority is granted from a broker to their affiliated licensee, either in an independent contractor agreement or in some sort of policy manual or some other agreement. Again, affiliated licensees are affiliated with their broker. Contracts are done in the name of the broker. Compensation is earned in the name of the broker. Therefore, an agent signing, especially where it impacts compensation, has to have that broker's authority to do so. Then on the second page of the instructions to closing attorney, this is where you describe and delineate the amounts of fees and rebates. So page 1 of the instructions, this is basically money coming from the public to the brokers or from one broker to the other broker. So this is compensation coming into the brokers. The second page is money going out from the brokers to the public. So this is paragraph C, further directions to the closing attorney. The seller's broker and the buyer's broker hereby direct the closing attorney to disclose on the settlement statement for the above referenced transaction the following referral fees and rebates they have or will be paid in said transaction. So this is the amount that the seller's broker is paying, the seller's broker. Amount of fees or rebates being paid by the seller's broker. So it's how much expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or some other financial arrangement, and the person or entity to whom the fees or rebates are being paid, coming from the seller's broker. Then from the buyer's broker, the amount of fees or rebates being paid by the buyer's broker, the amount as expressed as a percent of the sale price, a flat fee, or some other financial arrangement, and the person or entity to whom the fee or rebate is being paid. And then there is a space for any special stipulations. Then the signatures. This has changed just a little bit. This first part is the same as it has always been. You name the actual brokerage firm, and then it is signed either by the broker or by the licensee signing, warranting that they have the authority to sign on behalf of the broker. Then remember up here, compensation paid directly by the seller to the buyer's broker. If that has been agreed to on another document, as previously discussed, then on the instructions to the closing attorney, the seller also has to sign. So it says, if the seller is paying the buyer's broker's compensation referenced herein or any portion thereof, the seller hereby signs this agreement to reflect their consent to payment for compensation. So there is a place for the seller to also sign. The seller does not have to sign the instructions to closing attorney if this is zero. If there is no compensation paid to the buyer's broker directly from the seller, then the seller does not sign the instructions to closing attorney, only if they are paying the buyer's broker directly. So again, this is F-255, instructions to closing attorney. And the form has been in our contract package for years and years. The modifications are in reflection of the other modifications that I have addressed in these videos regarding compensation to the brokers. So I welcome your thoughts and your comments. Comment below, and would love for you to watch all the other videos, attend our classes. And as always, if you have any questions, I defer you to your own broker. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time. Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors, satisfying your needs with service, innovation, and education. Bye. If you like that video, check out the one here. If you like the content on this entire channel, please click here to subscribe. I try to take even the most complicated of real estate situations and make them crystal clear. See what I did there? Real estate made crystal clear. Thank you guys so much for watching.